I've been away for a while, tying up some loose ends and some other things, but here is my rundown on WrestleMania 40. I'm not so much into the predictions. I just tell it how I see it according to the thoughts that are in my brain. So we're going to just have at it. I'm going to start in on night one, and I'm going to start with Becky and Rhea. The past 2 weeks or whatever, I haven't really been feeling, might be 3 weeks, after she had the match with Nia Jax. It's like the storyline took a downward turn. It went for low hanging fruit, with Rhea talking about her daughter. And prior to that, the promo where Becky started talking about losing her dad, like she missed her dad's funeral, and it's no disrespect. I'm sure that's in her book and the whole 9 yards. No disrespect, but like this is a match between you and Rhea Ripley, and you're talking about I just didn't, yeah. And then when Rhea's like, have your daughter look at you and all that, it was low hanging fruit because, at least from my perspective, when this started, it seemed as if Becky was trying to see if she can stand her own against Rhea Ripley. And as the weeks kept progressing, she kept taking these matches. And it didn't make sense for just... Okay, let me slow down what I'm trying to say. Sorry, guys. What she was doing was kind of stupid, and Rhea kept kind of warning her that it was kind of dumb in so many ways. Like, you're taking these matches, and I'm not wrestling anybody. I'm going to be prepped for you, and you keep beating up your body trying to prove something to wrestle me, and I'm just going to run right through you. Was my perspective on what Rhea was telling her. Go back and go watch, their run-ins with one another, right? And it fell apart with the Nia thing. If you've listened to my prior rants, I always speak on the brainwashing, and I continue to speak on the brainwashing of the prior person that was running who shall not be named any longer, right? When I speak on brainwashing, I speak on, we've done this for 80,000 years. Why do we need to stop and change up? Sometimes change is good. Like, everyone expected Cody and The Rock showed up. Change was good, right? People went crazy, and what we found out that the change was good, right? Change sometimes is good. I felt that Becky did not have to beat Nia Jax. Okay, Liv Morgan could have came in and did something. They didn't have to do the stupid scene where she's in the back prepping for Nia Jax, and Liv Morgan has to show up to save face for her character. All that shit was it's just dumb to me. It's like, we're past that. Stop. It's like it's dumbed down characterization. You didn't have to have Liv Morgan show up. Just, she has a match with Nia. Maybe Liv gets involved. Maybe they both get they both get counted out in the last woman standing match. It doesn't always have to be Becky has to win because she's going to... It doesn't. I don't give a fuck, because she's still going to face Rhea Ripley no matter what happens. If she lost every fucking week because Big Show came back and like smashed something out of some stupid shit, and then she's still going, unless she gets injured, she's still going to face Rhea Ripley. So, to save face for Nia to still make her a threat, bro, she didn't have to fucking lose that match. That's the thing that bothers me. And then this is when I'm talking about that brainwashing. Because if let's just say they both beat the crap out of one another, my man, the ref counts, there's no clear winner. Rhea comes out, cuts that promo like, yo, you're doing all this shit. to fuck with me. And I don't care about monetization, so I'm gonna get raw, yo. My whole attitude about this whole YouTube shit is starting to change now. So, bear with me, or rock with me, or split. Anyhow, you're doing all this shit to get in the ring with me, and you look stupid. And I also felt that match should have happened this Raw, this past Monday, this week leading into Mania. It should have happened. Because it would really, and if they kept on that line, instead of going, oh, your daughter, and then my dad. No, you keep on. She could have came out and said, you a real freaking idiot. We are days away, and you keep wearing your body down to try to keep up with me. And you're going to lose. Either way, I'm going to rip through you, but then it would kind of make a little bit more sense. Week after week, she's fighting and fighting and fighting to keep up, to try to prep herself for Rhea Ripley, but in reality, she's ripping her body down. That makes more sense to go into it like this. I don't see her coming, and I said this for the chamber. I don't see Lynch coming out with this because Rhea's so hot right now. You're going to do kill that? It would be stupid. But again, it's not my company. So to have her trying to prove this point, and it goes with Becky, because Becky thinks that she's like, hence the man. She thinks that she can fucking beat everybody, and I love her. Don't get it twisted, okay? When you look at her character, going back to, remember when her and Charlotte tried to warn her about the Kabuki Warriors. I can take them all by myself. She had her ass beat. Charlotte was hanging in the back, like, so how'd that work out for you? The reason why I recalled that is because they did the same thing with Cody when Seth told him he would help him. I said, this story's the same. I almost did a vid on it, but I was like, forget it. It was like, they're doing the same storyline, but it was the same thing. She thinks that she can beat up everybody, and sometimes she has to learn that she can't. And this would have been, that buildup would have just worked. Now let's say if she was going to win, then it'd be even a greater story because she went through all that shit. Like basically, but you can't really have that because then it'd be like Cody going through all he's going through, and then he's going to win. Now she's getting beat up, and then she's, what I'm saying? It would just be repetitive. It'd be repetitive. But to have her and Nia both not win, then it sets it up for Monday Night Raw when you come back. Nia's still heated. We still got unfinished business, and you're still a loser. Now we finish that off. And then we do it. Now we can do the 3-way dance with, her and Liv or something else. I've outgrown this stuff. I've outgrown, and this is where you hear me talk about letting the wrestlers, the talent, get their goddamn rest and start elevating other people while it leads up to Mania. You start back building other people that, maybe you really go in hard on the Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell shit, and you really start building that so that your mind is, you'll see the trailers for Becky and Rhea and Rock and all that other stuff, and you're getting amped for it, but you're still invested in this new stuff. So that, because remember, WrestleMania is supposed to be, that's when, the day after everything kind of begins again. You know what I mean? So I even lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, okay, I know what I was saying. So just to have this, it was just low hanging fruit, man. So it's whatever. I just did not like how this whole thing just wrapped up. I just thought it was kind of dumb. Becky should have just wore her body out and then prepped for this match. It's just like, I'm going to do whatever. All right, new match, man, because I'm getting frustrated just thinking about this shit. Okay, the 6-pack ladder match, don't really care about it. It feels too much. At least the promotion and everything is gimmicky, as we all know, but it feels too much like, going back to Hardy's, Dudley's, and Edge and Christian and all that. And it's just like, whatever. The thing that it got me thinking about last night, right? I didn't know that they were doing this thing with the titles, and it seems as if they're gonna split the titles up and get them away from the Judgment Day or Damian and Finn. Judgment Day, by the way, is kind of losing its luster. I think it was either between when they put in Little Man or when they put in Truth. This is just thinking about this hours ago, and I'm not sure if Truth bringing the humor to it kind of watered it down, but then when they smashed on them, it kind of brought the edge back. But I don't know when, if it was McDonough losing. They're kind of losing the edge, and it almost looks like they're gonna slowly disband. But it's the perfect timing. Anyhow, with this match, I didn't know that there was this special thing where they're setting up with the belts. Now, I'm going to digress and I'm going to come and bring this back. I'm sorry, I'm going to transition and I'm bring this back. So just kind of bear with me. For me, WrestleMania, right? Especially with it being 2 nights, and now I'm starting to think that it should be 3 nights. I'll save that for later, right? It should be the one event where everything is special. And this is where the PLEs kind of water everything down. I think when you have like this would have been cool to have like a tag team elimination chamber match. But now elimination chamber is its own PLE and it waters it down. I remember when they first dropped that, man, and it was just so cool. And then all of a sudden and then when I got away from wrestling and just like now it's its own PLE. It's certain like the Punjabi cage joint that What's-Her-Face has, that's a special type of match. You know what I'm saying? So when that pops up, that's it's anyhow. With that thinking, right? If you're going to separate the belts, I said, damn, what would be cool to really make it spicy? If they could have did it in a way where, let's say you hang the belts up. I don't know how they're doing it, probably by pinfall, but let's say it could either be by pinfall, you hang the belts up or something. The first 2 people that grab the belts, they're the winners, and now they're a tag team. You dig? So now you got the New Day all fighting. They're both fighting to get to the belts at the same time. So they're going to do whatever each team is going to do what they need to do to both get their hands on those titles individually, and it spices it up. So now what happens if Kofi gets a belt and Theory gets a belt and they're both the SmackDown titles? Now they're a team, right? But if they still have time, so now let's say this is a 20-minute match and those 2 guys win the title, right? And now they're the SmackDown tag team. But now they still can fight for the other pair of belts or titles, right? And then let's say Kofi wins again, right? And it's Butch. So now Kofi has 2 belts. He's tagged now with Theory and he's tagged now with Butch, right? But now you still got 10 minutes left or 5 minutes left. Then Damian wins a belt, let's say he pins Kofi, and Gargano pins Butch. Now I'm telling you, it would be wild, bro, until it just gets down all the way down to the end of the match. And then let's say you got Woods and Gargano and you got Miz, and let's just keep it as Miz and Truth, and they win. So one team, or even if you want to Miz and Balor. Now you got this mixture of stuff. So now that when you go into Raw and you go into SmackDown, you got 2 teams that kind of even don't want to be with one another. And there might be animosity, there might be humor there. Even let's just say you had Truth and Finn Balor. He would drive him crazy. I wouldn't put him with Priest because Priest has the money in the bank. Put him with Balor and drive him crazy. But it would still add that humor. You still have, it'd be something different. This is I'm just not really interested in this, man. I might even just hold off and watch this on Monday. Just watch this match on Monday, man. It's just whatever. This is just kind of how I feel. It just seems like even though I'm even saying a gimmick, that whole thing that I just created is gimmicky, but it's different. At the end, you don't know who you're going to get. You're going to get this gumbo. And this is what this should be about. It's WrestleMania. Let's just be wild, man. Let's just not, well, we need a reason to separate the belts, so, it's going to go to two teams that are already teamed up. This would just completely mix it up, man. But, it is what it is. All right. Okay, I had a Snickers bar. Gunther versus Sami Zayn. Yeah, I could take this or leave this match too, because this is like what I've said before. Sometimes you want to see people win, but when they win, it's what happens next. If Sammy wins his belt, the moment he starts cutting promos is going to go back to being like milquetoast. He doesn't cut the best promos that keep me interested. It's one thing to win the belt, and I'm not all that high. I've never really been all that high on his wrestling. Last year was different because I was more invested in the storyline with the bloodline and that breakup, and then reconciling with Kevin. This "you can't win" yada 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 was originally supposed to be for Stallone to help him, and the time was not allowed with the whole Philly, Rocky, whatever. So they went with what's his name, Kurt Angle Jr. And it's like a week into it, 2 weeks away. Like, oh yeah, I can help you. Like 2 fucking weeks now, bro. Like, come on. That's like a note of a Rocky theme. Dan dan, and that's that. But I really feel a really good match. As I stated. I mean, of course, with Seth, but goddamn, what the hell are you guys gonna do with Bronson Reed, bro? Give that motherfucker a belt, dogs. Cut the shit. But, he's heel, can't be. I think that Gunther will probably win. And the only reason why I was thinking about that, or I'm making that prediction is, and if it's wrong, who cares? I don't care. But I thought about Sheamus. And it's like, but at a certain point in time, they're going to try to recreate that whole thing again for a third time with him and Sheamus. And they'll probably give the strap to Sheamus. So, because McIntyre's out. Because remember, it was him, Sheamus, then McIntyre tried to put himself in and try to repeat and yada, yada. I think, Gunther will probably retain, and the person that's probably going to take it off is probably going to be Sheamus, who's probably like close to coming back. I don't know why they just don't give Bronson Reed, aka Jonah, this goddamn title, bro. If you weren't going to give it to Miz, then give it to Jonah. Let's cut the shit. He's very interesting with the stick as well. But I just, it's like if Sammy wins it, I'll just be like, okay, he won it. This is because you think this is what the people really want to see. But I'm telling you, Monday night on Raw, once he comes dancing out, and that's another reason why I bother by him, because his fucking music, his theme music, I swear to God, it sounds like that. What's that goddamn band? I thought about it. That never had to knock on wood. It sounds exactly like that shit. As soon as I hear it, I think about that goddamn that group, and I can't take him seriously. So it's like if he wins, it's like, all right, yeah, this is what the crowd wanted, but then we're gonna see what's his competition, because he already fought Shinsuke now. So I mean, now he's gonna fight Kurt Angle Jr., Senior. Like, yeah, it's more interesting with Gunther, bro. It's just that serious. It's just that serious. Anyhow, I mean, look, I would rather have had Ludwig turn on Gunther and they have a match at WrestleMania. And it has to be Ludwig, not the Vidi Vedi Vici Vuci Virata, Vanetta, Butter, Peter Picker Pecker, not the other sidekick, no. Because Ludwig looks like more of his, will give him more of a battle. But like I said, if you weren't going to give it to Miz when Miz was battling him, and then Miz was trying to get that back, and they sideswiped that and put him with Truth. Yeah, anyhow, yeah, we're going to move on, man. We're going to move on fast. I'm sorry. Damage Control, Bianca, or B2, Trin, and Cargill. This should have been a tag title match. I guess they're trying to string this along to see if they're going to put B with Naomi or to feel out Cargill with the fans, even though everyone's interested in seeing her with Bianca. Look, okay, placeholder here. In my opinion, I don't even know if I should go this route because fuck it. Naomi, as much as they probably wanted her back, she was really a replacement for Sasha when they couldn't get Sasha back, in my opinion. But then they went another direction because had they got Mercedes back, then she would have been the one to save Bayley and yada, yada, yada. So, rather than just following that same footstep, do the little pivot. What are we going to do with Bianca now that she's not in the title thing? And then what are we going to do with Jade? How about we maybe make them into a tag team? But then what do we do with Jade? And maybe let's experiment with Bianca and Jade and see if that's what they want and yada, yada, yada. That should have been a definite decision. Like, this is what I was thinking that could have happened was that we go back to 2 weeks. Naomi helps her out, covers her, prevents her from getting beat up. That was dope. The following weekend, her getting ready to meet up with Dakota. Then they should have challenged the Kabuki Warriors at WrestleMania this week at WrestleMania. And then tonight on SmackDown, Naomi gets injured because they jump her. And that's how you surprise everybody with Jade. That would have been better. But this is whatever. Look, I'm going to watch it because I love all 6 of them. I want to see Jade do well. Even if she fucks up, I'm still going to be there. I'm not going to be like the turncoats in the crowd. Look, she tricked on herself. Like, dog, she's going to get better. Relax. She's going to get better. So I just hope that she performs well. So far, she's so good. She's in great hands with these 2 girls. She's going to learn a lot. And if I were them behind the scenes, I would throw her right into Natalia's arms and tether them 2 together and then really work that girl new level. Because I didn't even know that she's been training, but now to step it up, put her with Natalya. And then when Charlotte's just about ready, put her with Charlotte. I'm talking about off camera, the stuff that you don't see. Tether her, let her have her. She's going to learn from B and Trin. Sweet. But in a couple of weeks, behind the scenes, take her off, put her with Natalya. And then when Charlotte is back in, getting warmed up and getting ready, put her with Charlotte and let them build that relationship and give her that knowledge so that that chick can get 20 times better that much faster. Like I said, I'm going to watch the match, but this should have been for the gold. Strip them of everything. That's what I say. But, they probably have another story that I don't see coming. I just don't see them as a match, like to take on these 3. Even if you took Trin out, how are they going to contend with, how are they going to contend with them? The only way is to kind of do what they did with Charlotte and Becky. I'm talking about the Warriors, which was to take them out individually and beat them up and jump them. But you would have to consistently keep doing. That's what I would do. Consistently keep doing that week after week after week, just jumping on them. In order for us to get the upper hand, we're going to have to keep beating them down until we either wear them out and then we have a title match with them or something. But I just don't see them as a match. With Trin, kind of balances it out a little bit. But with those 2, they're almost like the Twin Towers, bro. Like, cut it out. So, anyway, hopefully it's going to be enjoyable. And I'm all about who's going to get misted. That's it. That's all I can say. All right, we're moving on. Now, this should be the match. I know that Becky she got what she wanted, which was the first match. She feels that her that I don't know what's wrong with me today. She feels that what the fuck is wrong with my grammar today? She feels that she and Rhea can tear the house down and then go, yo, beat that. I don't think so, because I don't think that Rhea and Becky can have a better match than Rhea and Nia Jax. That's just my opinion. We're going to see. With that said, this is the match that I'm counting on. Jay versus Jimmy. This is the match that I think will tear the roof off. It should. I'm expecting it. If it doesn't, I'm not losing any sleep. But these two were given the opportunity to spin off from the bloodline, and Jay has prospered more than Jimmy has. This is the time for Jimmy to step all the way up. And I can't remember, and I said that I was going to go back and rewatch that match. I can't remember which brother it was in WrestleMania 20 when it was one of the Usos, Kofi, and I kept saying I was going to watch. That was a good fucking match. Oh man, that match was good. I got to go back and go watch that match. That was a good match. This is, lockdown time. That was a good match, but this has to be the match that's going to really say, like, yo, as solo artists, solo talents, now they're both on equal standing. The promos that Jimmy cut the past 3 weeks have been money, man. When he was like, you was my little brother, and pushes, that shit was fire. That shit was fire, bro. Then when he came in, interrupted him, it was because of me. That's why. Yo, his promos, they're fire. Now they gotta have this. This has to be the match that, to me, says Rock, Roman, Cody, Seth, fuck with that. And especially if it's right before that, fuck with that. Now what? This, to me, I'm expecting, I don't even know what to expect. Damn, this, I don't even know, man. This, I kind of wish that this was a special type match, like, a Singapore King match or something. Maybe this will bleed into SummerSlam somehow. I don't know. But this needed to be a special match, just rather than a one-on-one match. I'm expecting this one to tear the roof off. I don't really have much to say, because the lead into me, I thought, I liked it. But I just got a feeling that this is going to be the fucking match. And I can't tell you why. I just got a good feeling about these two, that this has to be the one. It's more so for Jimmy, but I'm at a loss for words right now. I have high expectations for this match. So with that said, we're moving on to the final one. And this is all of night one.